This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, this is Kaylee Humphrey, two-time Olympic champion in bobsleigh.
Hey, this is Jonathan Simkin. I am the president of 604 Records.
Hey, I'm Sam Roberts.
Hi, I am Julia Budd, Bellator 145-pound, three-time world champion.
Hi, this is Thomas Adora, and I'm a sex and relationship guru.
Hey, what's up? This is John Humphrey, drummer for the rock band Cedar.
Hey, I'm Kristen Renton.
Hey, this is Troy Lecata from Tesla.
Hi, it's Captain Kirk McLean here, and you're listening to the Toddcast Podcast.
The Toddcast Podcast
is powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
This year has been all Vancouver Canucks. So put it this way, it's an easy year if you're a fan of the team, especially considering the roller coaster that we've been on over the years. And we're talking decades at this point. Thrilling highs and so close with the playoff runs and division titles, the Sedins and their wizardry, and back-to-back President's trophies and Bure speed and Lyndon's leadership. But they get the heartbreaking lows, and there's always a feeling of perpetual hope with that team. Talking about near misses, it's been rough as a fan, but not this year. At or damn near the top all year long with Demko and Hughes and Miller, Besser, Pedersen, like studs. And there's been that constant chirp in the distance with our resident sports loudmouth, Mr. Tequila. He was originally a recurring character, quote unquote, in my afternoon show back in the Seafox days. 10 years gone from that radio station this summer. Podcasting continues to be the future, although there's still a place for radio. It just kind of needs to tweak the format to help move things along. But this isn't about radio, but Mr. Tequila. He would jump on my radio show and go off about the Canucks, the good, the bad, the goals, the mishaps, all that shit. And everyone loved his airtime, or at least my show killed in the ratings, or whatever that means. Radio, of course, is about the music, and the hope is that the person that's on the air doesn't interrupt that flow too much, and in some cases will better the show. And Mr. Tequila added to 99.3 The Fox afternoon show for close to 7 years.
Your Vancouver Canucks are first in the NHL. Like, hello, what? Holy fuck. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a good time to be a Canucks fan. I'm just glad that we got a guy like Rutherford. This is a Rutherford team. These are Rutherford moves that he made. And I like how he just gutted the team. We went from car wash to contender in one season.
That's crazy.
Right?
Didn't they just sign him to another 3-year or 4-year deal?
Totally, yes. Even though it's Alvin that's making the deals, they're basically putting together the Pittsburgh Penguins of like 2016, 2017 when they went back-to-back cups. We have a similar team to that, where you got your 5 core players and you just plug the gaps with good penalty killers, a couple of defensive players, bigger defensemen, and then getting Hronek. Like, hello, wow, was that the pick of the year? We won that trade.
And Zadorov as well. Like, these are just massive human beings.
Massive. Totally. And, well, we went to the game. We saw how big that guy is in person. Him and Myers, those guys are massive. Like, we got a big team, man. So I think that just some of the changes that they made is why we're so effective. And again, a full year with Tocchet. Tocchet's all big on accountability and whatnot. And he really challenged these guys in the summer, keeping in contact, making sure they're ready to go, because the last couple of seasons we were actually doing okay. It was just a shitty start. You start the season 0-8, it's too hard to come back from.
Joining Mr. Tequila, and by the way, he got his nickname from being down in Mexico with the Toddcast, slamming so much tequila before like 9, 10 in the morning kind of thing, that he was splashing people. He's in the pool splashing people. He's being super loud, borderline obnoxious, because it was more funny than anything else, but just lit, like drunk, passing out by noon, 11 in the morning kind of thing. No recollection of the night's dinner. You know, those resorts where like there's a main place to eat and then there's those other side restaurants as well. So we're at the main place, like the biggest of the bunch, but nope, does not remember going. The next day, everybody in the resort, all the people that were serving drinks and some of the people that were just, you know, guests and whatever, calling him Mr. Tequila. So joining Tequila, have you heard about Reiki? It's the soothing energy massage for your soul. Massage for your soul. You've seen it, no doubt. It's that gentle touching or the hovering hands in some cases. Some people swear by it, and some people say they feel more relaxed and less stressed about it. And like me, I bet you have questions. Hypnotherapist and Reiki master teacher Magda Baptista is a guest this week as well.
I knew as a kid that I wanted to become a teacher. I had a blackboard in my room. I would line up my dolls and I would teach them everything. I would write on that board. I would teach them math, French, English, everything that I knew I loved to teach.
Yeah.
And I still consider myself as the eternal student and teacher of life. Whatever I teach, I learn, and my best teachers are always my students.
And it's another fun week planned. We have our resident sports loudmouth, hypnotherapist, and Reiki master. And you'll hear from this week's musical guest in just a second. He's the lead guitarist in one of the best rock bands of the last 3 decades. Coming up shortly in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, fitness expert Carmel Rodriguez talks about your body and its superpowers. It's incredible what you can do under duress. That is powered by our good friends at FKP MMA. Renewed sponsorship for all of 2024. Honored to have them back for the whole year. Learn self-defense, build your self-esteem, meet new friends, and get fit doing it. My youngest, Levi, goes a couple times a week. It's such a good time, loves going. I think it's coming up on year 3. He's 2 in a bit anyway. Vancouver's #1 training destination by a landslide. Find out more through fkpmma.com. First, let's get to our first guest of 3, this week's musical guest. They're now powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Excited to bring these guys into the fold. They have over 20 years experience and a state-of-the-art studio. We're talking commercial sound on an indie budget. Check them out through thehawkinssoundranch.com. This week's guest is Tesla lead guitarist Frank Hannon. And if you know anything about the 80s and the 90s rock scene, it was a wild ride. It was a different time. We're talking no cell phones, no internet, big hair, flashy clothes, living on the edge. You waited for your favorite rock magazine to be delivered to your home and to arrive at the local store. Motley Crue, I mean, they practically defined the term of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Poison brought glam to the party. Def Leppard were one of the biggest bands on the planet with killer hooks and massive choruses. There was a bit of sleaze and that vibe with Rat. And then there was Tesla, just straight up blue collar, down to earth grit. Their music just stood out from the rest, and you definitely get more of a genuine rootsy vibe out of these guys compared to the bands that I just mentioned. But it wasn't just about the music back then. It was a cultural phenomenon and rebelling against the norms. So listen to Frank talk about his early years and the music that he was around when he was growing up.
Well, it was very diverse. We're talking about in the 70s, and music was great in the 70s, and a lot of, FM radio was playing so many great artists. Frampton Comes Alive was huge. Leonard Skinner. I remember the first time I heard Freebird on the radio. But before that, my parents and my mother and my stepdad and his family was very diverse culturally. It was my mom married a Mexican guy, and so in that family, it was a big family. And one of my cousins loved, hard rock music and Aerosmith and Nugent and all of that. And then my other cousin loved, Ohio Players and P-Funk and funk music and disco. My stepdad, he loved Hank Williams and Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan. My mom loved, Grateful Dead and jumping blues music, Canned Heat, Jefferson Airplane. So as a kid growing up in that environment, I was exposed to all those influences. And then as, getting into high school and becoming a guitar player, and when Van Halen came out and the Scorpions and metal and Randy Rhoads and all that came out later in the 80s, obviously playing guitar was influenced by that and those guys. But the elements that you hear that I contribute to Tesla, like acoustic guitar and country twang and like in What You Give, there's some elements of country music in the guitar playing and the songwriting of that, comes from those early influences of all those different types of music that I grew up with as a kid.
Right. It's so cool to hear Frank talking about the music that was in his life early on and kind of being influenced. It's neat to hear how music help shape people, I think. The full interview, you'll hear him talking about his first concert story. He talked about self-help books, touring Canada, binge-watching Western movies, and Star Trek. Tesla, of course, has been around since the early 80s. They formed in 81 from Sacramento, California. And as just mentioned, when you're getting excess and flamboyance from so many of the rock bands at that time, Tesla brought that blue-collar authenticity to the scene. Bluesy, big riffs, great vocals, just a killer rhythm section. They were the complete package. And Frank talks about the early days of the band, writing and recording their incredible debut, Mechanical Resonance.
Mechanical Resonance came out in 86, but we had been working on it in 85, 84, 83. We had been developing as a band. I turned 20 in October of 86. So I was 19 when I recorded the album, 18, 17, even back to 16 years old, working as a musician locally, and writing those songs and playing the clubs and paying our dues and hammering it out with the guys who were a little bit older than me. Brian Wheat was 18 when I met him. I was 15 when he and I started the band. I had already been playing in bands since I was 12. No kidding. My cousin. And I grew up really quick. In my household, it was a wide open South Sacramento. There was parties all the time. So when I discovered guitar, and played my first gig at 12 years old at a Moose Lodge in front of, 50 people, and they all were rocking out. I was hooked ever since. And then, so I just went backwards there in the timeline from the first album. But really quick, I was 12 years old when I played my first professional gig and got paid $20 at a Moose Lodge.
Yeah.
Met Brian Wheat when I was 15. He had already been playing a lot in some older bands that were older than me. I joined forces with him. He and I regrouped and put a new band together, started playing, hammering it out. Every weekend we played at either a party or a club. We met a guy who wanted to be our manager. The manager freaking drove us hard like a drill sergeant, gave us a place to practice, started introducing us to people, Ronnie Montrose being one of them. Dwayne Hitchings was a songwriter, which ultimately led us to going to LA. We would drive to LA. We would drive to Boise. We would take these cars and we would relentlessly work, practice, and gradually change from being a top 40 cover band to being an all original band. And still playing covers here and there and having fun with it, but writing our own songs like Modern Day Cowboy and Changes and Coming at You Live and Rock Me to the Top. We were super driven and very hardworking as a band. And at that time, I was the youngest guy, but I was right in there with the rest of the guys, paying our dues, and wrote those songs and put out the first Tesla album and recorded it when I was 19 years old.
And as a massive fan of that band, don't you just love hearing musicians talk about the albums that you love? It's awesome. So got Frank talking about other things like Vegas. He shared a story about the early days of the band and touring with David Lee Roth, the band's party days, the drugs, the drinking. Aerosmith came up, so did disco. We talked with Frank for, I think it was close to 50 minutes, and you can get a lot of stuff in that time. You can hear it right now at our iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Megaphone accounts. See the full interview at our YouTube channel. Everything online is at Toddcast Podcast. Here, Frank recommends some rock autobiographies that you should look into.
Yeah, well, let's see. I read Carlos Santana's biography. That was good. I read the Long Strange Trip Grateful Dead biography. The other one, Bob Weir. I do like biographies.
Yeah, same.
I'll get into reading like self-help books, how to manage your life kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't been reading books lately too much over the holidays and stuff. But when I'm at the airport, I'll pick up a book, to try to pass the time, and it's usually a biography.
Yeah, same. I just picked up the I can't remember what it's called, but it's the Geddy Lee autobiography. I flipped through a couple pages last night. I mean, obviously it's going to be a fantastic read, right?
Yeah, that's My Effing Life or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. My Effing Life. That's right.
I got to get that book. I love Rush and Geddy Lee, and he's so witty, man. Yeah, I'd love to read that. You know which book really surprised me that was a page turner was KK Downing's biography.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he gets a bad rap because he left Judas Priest or whatever, but being in a band is not easy, man. And when you got power struggles, and ego trips and stuff, I mean, who knows what happened in there? But when you get KK Downing's side of it, it's pretty entertaining.
I bet, man. And of course, KK was in that band in their heyday. He was like the guy.
Absolutely. And he talks about how they discovered leather clothes and the whole image of it all and the power struggles that went on within the band. And, but he talks about his childhood and his relationship with his parents and stuff like that. It was a good read. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely going to be grabbing that book from KK Downing. That is going to be a page turner, and get the nod from Frank as well. So he talks about seeing the Man in Black, Johnny Cash, in concert as a kid and how much that blew his mind. He talked about touring post-COVID and how good it feels to be back to the quote-unquote norm. He talks about touring with Def Leppard. We talk sports with football and hockey. And Frank went into the band's 2024 plans, which of course include that Vegas residency at the House of Blues, which if you've never been, it is such an incredible venue.
It is, man. House of Blues is a great venue. We do a lot of them. Chicago, we've done, New Orleans, the Las Vegas House of Blues at the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
And just to elaborate again, being sober now for me and not having to worry about near-death experiences of pushing it to the limit, especially in a town like Las Vegas, every show is freaking great because not doing that other thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, living life, man, living the natural high life in Las Vegas at the House of Blues for 5 nights in April. It's going to be freaking great. So join us.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Use their 20-plus years of experience to record at their state-of-the-art studio. Commercial sound on an indie budget. Visit thehawkinssoundranch.com for more.
Try so hard, but nothing's working, man. Coming in and out of focus, catching if you can. You gotta set up shop where the bucket's dropped. You're dropping it up like a backup plan. I'm skating on thin ice. I'm in the limelight, you're in the bleachers. I never needed a reminder. I'm in the opening band, another fourth line grinder. You can pick and choose how you're gonna pay your dues, then you can't walk a mile 'cause you got nothing left to lose. And you're floating in and out of conscience, losing altitude. You gotta chalk it up to the satisfaction, blowing it up like a chain reaction. I'm skating on thin ice. I'm in the limelight, you're in the bleachers. I never needed a reminder. I'm in the open band, I'm on the fourth line grinder. I'm an outsider, stealing the show. It's the devil you know. We find ourselves getting rung up like bells, and there's so much weight upon our shoulders. It's a living hell. Don't suicide the past or kick yourself in the ass. You gotta put in the time on your second effort. It's getting old like a broken record. I'm skating on thin ice. I'm in the limelight, you're in the bleachers. I never needed a reminder. I'm in the open band, I'm on the fourth line. I'm skating on thin ice. I'm in the limelight, you're in the bleachers. I never needed a reminder. I'm in the open band, another fourth line grinder. I'm in the open band, another fourth line grinder. I'm in the open band, I'm on the fourth line.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
When you start getting on in life, and let's face it, age catches all of us, you really start to think about your health, wellness, and it actually becomes pivotal. Prioritizing fitness, finding a way to, balanced diets, ensuring an active lifestyle, whatever that means for you. If you can keep on keeping on for years to come, why not? A recommended follow on social media is fitness expert Carmel Rodriguez. She's a workout creator, handstand fitness, and a certified trainer. Her bio says she's a lover of movement, health, and fitness. 350,000 people alone follow her on Instagram, and you really get a good idea of how you can use your home to work out. It's not necessary to go to the gym all the time. Carmel is a mother of two, struggled with anxiety and depression after having her kids, and used fitness to overcome. And when she was a guest, she shared fitness tips, her training regime. We talked about cheat foods and family. She shared a near-death story about going to the dentist. you'll hear that one in the full conversation. But right now, stop me if you've heard this before. Carmel talked about superpowers and the amazing things your body can do.
You know, on a serious note.
Yeah, so let's get serious here. Definitely.
Well, you say superpowers. One of the reasons I started my fitness was because when my kids were very young, and I don't tell this to a lot of people, but here.
Let's tell it to everybody that listens to my podcast.
It just seemed like the right time because of how you said that. But
right.
I used to wake up crying at night because I would have this reoccurring dream, and I would dream that my kids were playing on the street, and there was a car coming from both directions, and they're both going to get hit, and I had to choose between which one to save. And I used to wake up crying all the time. And I remember saying to myself, there's no way that I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to be able to save both of them. So I don't know if Ninja's a superhero, but that's kind of where my program started and what made me determined to kind of be that mom. You hear the story about that mom that lifts the car off the child when the car gets hit or run over.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that mom.
Incredible shit like that.
Yes.
Like a 7-year-old kid lifts a tractor off his dad in the field or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like what your body can do when under extreme duress.
Yeah. It's incredible. It is incredible.
Yeah.
The human body is incredible, period.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit canadianclub.com today.
band is Sleep Circle, and one of their newish songs, The Knife Awaits, which you'll probably see if you make it out to our next live show. So it's Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver. It's the last Friday of the month. So Friday, February 23rd, Sleep Circle and Freeborn Soul are banging off of Blue Light sessions with the podcast, because the studio does do other sessions without the podcast on their own. But for our shows together, the bands get a 45-minute set. I interview both bands for the first 15, 20 minutes of the set while they're playing songs as well. But it's interactive. These nights are very interactive. As soon as you walk in the doors, you can ask questions of the bands as well. Maybe suggest songs to play. We've even had audience members come up and play something. Totally not planned. They're very, very cool nights. We can take a 15, 20-minute break between the bands, just kind of switch over. And, if you got to have a quick pee or whatever, if you grab a drink, hang out, again, talk to the bands. It's nice to have Canadian Club ready to drink cans at all of our live shows at Blue Light Studio. You can grab tickets to all podcast shows through eventbrite.ca. That's BRITE.ca, eventbrite.ca. It's $20 in advance. You can roll the dice and hope that there's tickets at the door. It's $25 if you wait for the door. We do cap these nights at 60 people, so if you want to make sure you get in, pre-buy, again, through eventbrite.ca, search Toddcast Podcast. You cannot miss our shows. And we just started doing this at the last podcast show. Everybody who was at the show is entered to win guest list to all podcast shows in 2024. And we do this at every single show as well. So we have 2 this month, which means we're going to do it twice. So that's new. Win a ticket to every Blue Light sessions in 2024. We award them at every single show. You heard something new for JP Maurice, and certainly a favorite on the cast. We've been playing his music since we launched in 2015. New music for JP is called Thin Ice, and JP just wrapped up a little bit of a mini tour here in BC, up to the Okanagan, and played the Fireside Festival in Kelowna on the 4th. He played Summerland as well, played Penticton. Love it, getting out there and showcasing other markets. Indie artists could take a page out of JP's book. The kid is an absolute pro. All right, coming up in just a few minutes in Listen to This, celebrity chef Fabio Viviani talks about the hardest thing about owning restaurants. That is powered, as always, by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. RV service and repairs, ICBC accredited. They're into their 8th year sponsoring us. Absolute legends supporting the indie world here in Vancouver and the area. Just champs. Online through TedcoRVSupplies.com. They're also on Facebook and Twitter through Tedco RV Supplies. First, let's get to the second of 3 Toddcast guests this week. Our sporting guest is resident sports loudmouth, Mr. Tequila, powered as always by Hand Over Hand Textiles in Vancouver. Naturally dyed goods, scarves and pillowcases and shirts and bandanas and socks, all top notch. They're made from pure natural plant extracts, natural fibers. Mother Earth, in fact, gives the stamp of approval, locally owned and operated. Find them through handoverhandtextiles.com. They're also on Instagram. So as mentioned off the top this week, Tequila is a buddy, he's a longtime buddy. He and I go back many, many years. Rock and roll and hockey being the common thread, the common bond with us, and just kind of hanging out and soaking up hockey. And you get all the news that you would, expect from the usual suspects here in Vancouver, talking like Taylor and Dollywall and Patterson and those guys, right? But Tequila, somehow, he would always have something that those guys didn't, like a stat or a prediction or an injury report or whatever. But Tequila would know things before everybody. And like you and I, he was pretty fired up, pretty stoked to see 6 Vancouver Canucks at this past weekend's All-Star game.
When have we ever had that? We never even had that back in the Sedin era. It would have been maybe the both Sedins and Luongo, not like multiple guys. And they all deserve to be there. Look at Demko. Demko's like Vezina finalist already. He's turned it around. What did the Vancouver media say last year? They wanted to dump him. They wanted to trade him, you fucking idiots. You got to let the guy bounce back. He had the worst fucking year. You're not going to let the guy bounce. You don't just trade number 1 goalies, right? Our fucking idiot media had him gone. Right. But like that Zadorov guy, he's the toughness. Like he's defensively, he's okay. He does make the odd mistake. We need him to be the policeman, and he is being the policeman. You go take liberties, he's going to fucking fight back with Miller. Miller dropping the Clay Myers. Yes, we need those guys to start fucking banging it around. Because if you think about this team compared to 2011, this team is better. We got more toughness. I think we're better overall. This team right now, we're living the best team.
Yeah, I agree.
Best mix. You just keep watching. You know they're good. Like, even when they get down, it's like, oh, fuck, it's the Canucks. Flip the station 1 second. Holy fuck, we're winning.
I know, right? Like every game you go in as a fan, like, yeah, we actually legitimately have a chance to win every single game, man.
Totally. And we're just this all-star nod. That's good for the guys' confidence and whatnot. And everyone's still, some of the media already worried about Patterson. We still control Patterson's contract. He's RFA. So, of course, he's contract here. He's going to shoot for the moon. We can pay him. We can afford to pay him. It's guys like Hronek is playing out of his mind, and somehow we'll worry about that after playoffs, right? To see what we're going to do with him, right?
Well,
anything goes.
Patterson too, same kind of situation there, yeah.
Except for Patterson, if somebody offer sheets us for him, we would get like 4 first-round picks, right? Like if somebody's going to throw him an offer sheet, which is kind of dirty pool in the NHL, but some fucking idiots will do it sometimes.
Oh, for sure they will, yeah.
I've tried it before, right?
Right, and as a longtime Vancouver Canucks fan, it's like, really, is this actually happening? Am I going to wake up from a dream and it's not going to be real? The full talk this time around with Mr. Tequila is just over a half hour long. You can hear it right now at all of our social media platforms, all at Toddcast Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Megaphone, SoundCloud. Talked in depth about the Vancouver Canucks and their dominance this year. Are jinxes in sports real? We talked about Messi, Whitecaps soccer, European soccer came up, and Tequila shared his thoughts on the Motley Crue arbitration with guitarist Mick Mars.
He was the one that came up with the name. Yeah, he had it. It's been well documented. They know he's got that ace in his sleeve. But again, look at all the health problem. The guy stood by while these junkies were fucking doing heroin galore. Even though he was having fun on the side, but he was always the one that had to be responsible because he was so much older than those guys, right? And the guy, they go together. It isn't Motley Crue without the guy. The guy made a lot of those songs. Doesn't matter. Nicky Six wrote them. Mick's fucking guitar and his tone, the way he plays, fucking definitely helped, right?
Totally.
But I think to nail the guy like that and just to, you know what I mean, to get John 5 in there, like, fuck off. Motley Crue is just tarnishing their legacy with this kind of shit. And I hope Mick wins it from them. I think they should have called it after that stadium tour. Don't be one of these bands saying you're going to retire, get all the money, make all this money, buy all tears, and then fucking 3 years later, oh, yeah, we're doing a fucking stadium tour, and we're going to sell $5,000 tickets again. And it's going to be even worse because our fucking singer can't even sing, and it's shameful. Like, he's awful.
It's pretty
He's
bad.
awful.
I mean, like I have a star on my hand as homage to Tommy Lee, and like, you know, I'm as big as they come, truly, for that band, and like, it's embarrassing, man. Vince Neil cannot sing to save his life at this point.
Well, and look what they tried to do. They tried to screw him in the press there, showing the click track. And the click track that I heard, he was on fine with it. I couldn't even believe they released that. Are you idiots that fucking stupid?
It's crazy, right?
You're proving the guy right. He was with it. He was on the click. So I don't know what that was about. That was a fucking dumb move by them too. Like, John 5, no, he's a good guitar player, but he's not Motley Crue. Fuck. Come on. I see Motley Crue without Tommy Lee, and it sucked, right? With Randy Castillo, it was like, okay, Tommy Lee's not even here. What the fuck are we even doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Didn't they also have that that girl for a while? Was it
Samantha Maloney?
That's who it was. Yeah.
She was like a 1 month or 2 month person, and
Nick
she probably had women's issues. Nicky was like, get the fuck out of here, right? There's no period.
I'm with you, man. I really hope that Mick, you know, he keeps his ownership, man. It's fucking preposterous that they're trying to kick him out like that. It's fucking crazy.
If you know the history of Mick Mars, this guy has been dealt the worst blows ever. Again and again, that health spine problem that he's had his whole year. He's been in pain his whole life, right? He's had multiple wives fucking clean him out, right? Like, he had that one where he was doing rifle, or they were shooting guns off his back patio, and one bullet ricocheted and hit his hot girlfriend's friend, right? So she's shot. So she wants $10 million, right? Like, stuff like that has happened to this guy. A couple of wives cleaned him out. And then having this, like, I'm sure it's an expensive condition he's got. That in the United States, you're paying money for this, right? Like, insurance, BS, right? You're fucking paying cash. So to treat the guy like this, and considering that he was saying he just didn't want to tour, he didn't want to do all the shit that they were saying. They were lying, saying we're going to do a stadium tour, and that's it. So he did it. He compared fucking guys, 80, 70, something. Fuck, he looked like he's like 90. Sure. Guys like that any minute. But he's still fucking playing. Okay, that's it. Done. He still would do the odd show in Vegas. He could do a fucking Vegas run, get him fucking, fly him over there, put him in his fucking place, and he just roll him upstairs, play the show, and that's it once in a while. Right? I'd be fine with that. But to me, it's just tarnishing legacy. I haven't been to a cruise show in a while. I like remembering the 1990 show, which was the greatest fucking thing ever when they're on top of the world. Back then, they were bigger than Metallica. They were the biggest, right? Maybe Bon Jovi would have been there. But sappy Bon Jovi crew better than Bon Jovi any day. Yeah. And obviously Metallica came up and fucking nuked everybody after, right?
It really is crazy when you think about how Mick Mars is being treated by Motley Crue. He named the band and then was offered, a dismal 7.5% of the tour income of 2023, and then he gets nothing? Like, no, dude, fuck off. We got into other stuff as well, like family vacations, and he talked about police brutality, Canadian and U.S. politics, Vancouver and their snow days, joke days, and Tequila talked about keeping up with Canadian school curriculum and what are they teaching our kids?
And then some of this other stuff is just like, I keep a close eye on what my kids' curriculum is at school. Public school is not what it once was when we were in school. I don't know. Well, you must remember when we were in school, we used to sing "O Canada" once in a while to start a class. Right? That's what we did. We used to say, what was the prayer we used to say? I remember saying prayers and fucking, what was Our Father, Art in Heaven. How did we not do that? I remember that. And then that kind of came out. And it just seems like they're leaning towards a curriculum that it's friendly to everybody. We don't want to offend anybody, so we're going to let everybody pass, just like they did with the trophies. Let's give everybody a trophy. Instead of having competitiveness, facing adversity. There's nothing wrong with facing adversity. You fucking try harder next time to win, and it means so much.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with failing.
Failing, that's you. That's what makes you a person. If we just give graduations to everybody and say, everybody, that's socialism. We don't want that. We don't want that shit. Socialism is awful.
Dude, there's no chance anybody's like I would never call out their actual name, but I talked to a teacher, an elementary teacher, and they're like mandated. They cannot fail students now. They can't.
That's right. They can't because it was deemed racist if you failed somebody. God forbid if they were a minority and whatnot, which is wrong. What are we doing this kid by passing him if he's a complete dolt? Right. Is it going to be mandatory that these companies have to hire this dolt? Every company is going to be a separate owner. Like, get out of here, kid. Get the fuck out of here. Right. Let's see what you can do. No, you got nothing. You're out. Right. That's what it is. That's a part of life. You want to get somewhere. The old saying, it was stupid. I hated school when I was in school. I went to school for the chicks. That's it. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Smoking, chicks. Didn't give a fuck. As soon as you get older and you got to take care of yourself, that's where that shit kind of comes back to haunt you, right? So stay in school. It is very good to have school, but again, the curriculum, like we were talking about, it's some of the curriculum and some of the stuff they're talking about is just, I got to shake my head, right? Like one of the learning, we have these top 5 topics for, I think, a grade 2, grade 3 for summer learning. So we look at the topics. The number one thing for these kids to learn was trans. Okay, what about Terry Fox, or what about Aboriginal Pride, or what about all this stuff? What about Wayne Gretzky? Why is it that? That's fucking weird to me, right? I got nothing about that. I have trans friends. I have this. My friends aren't like that, fucking ramming this down our throat. They don't like this attention. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like we live in Vancouver. Vancouver's always had a gay and trans minority here. We've had immigrants. My wife's a fucking immigrant. We have people from China, India, Germany, all over. That's Vancouver. That's the spirit of Vancouver, right? We've been tolerant of all that shit forever. Like, they just bringing this in now. Oh, you got to be more. What are you talking about? We live in Vancouver, right? What do you mean you're not like that? I don't know no racist people. I don't know no gay beating. Like, they make it sound like there's this KKK runner. I don't see any of that. Where is this happening?
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee. bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
When I got strong, won't let it go, not gonna give up. I'm gonna break through, ready to blow. I won't let the waves come take me down. Hold on to the flame that won't go out. Oh love, take the reins and sail out. Darkness up ahead, but I'm stormproof, baby.
To make me wanna stay. Sick of feeling sick and tired, begging to fade away. And that's when I woke up, that's when I got strong. Won't let it go, not gonna give up. I'm gonna break through, ready to blow. I won't let the winds come take me down. Hold on to the flame that won't go out. Oh love, take the reins and sail out. Darkness up ahead, but I'm stormproof, baby. Darkness up ahead, but I'm stormproof, baby.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Don't you just love the little things in life? Like the things that are good for your soul. As cheesy as that sounds, but it's true, right? And for me, one of those things is cooking. It can ignite creativity. Thinking about how those ingredients and the flavors, they're all going to combine and mingle together. It's the journey, because you can taste the love in some meals, right? Like, does anything beat mom's cooking? So as a fan of TV's Top Chef, great to talk with Fabio Viviani, who was voted the Top Chef fan favorite in the 5th season. So after the show, you saw him do the rounds. Good Morning America, Ellen, Access Hollywood, chef, restaurateur, author, TV personality, host, who talked about comfort food, what he orders when he goes to other people's restaurants. Donald Trump's presidency came up, living stress-free, making apple pie for the Pope. Cool story. He shared his first concert story as well, a near-death experience, the difference of meal times here in North America versus Europe, because they are different. We talked about the shows that he was binge-watching at the time, And Fabio talked about the hardest thing about owning a restaurant. Listen to this.
No, I trust everybody once. You fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on you. So the reality is that now, in a normal scenario, it would be, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. But that restaurant doesn't apply because I know eventually I'm going to get fooled. So if you fool me once, shame on me for not figuring out how to not let you fool me. You fool me twice, shame on you because you're going to lose your job. So we have a very strict one-strike policy in all my places. You can lose me money, and I'll still forgive you because you made a mistake, you burned a steak, the customer is not happy, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you lose my trust, then you're dead to me, which means that if you steal money, if you do something shady, if I can't trust you, I can't work with you. There is no warning, return warning, then you go talk to HR, we try to send you through, classes. Screw that, fuck it. You lose my trust,
you're done.
You're out.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Red Truck Beer. Nothing delivers like a red truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
It's
There's Greg Drummond, and his song is called Lonely by the Night. He is the headliner of next month's Blue Light Sessions, and I think we're about halfway sold on that one. So you might want to grab a ticket right now if you want to make sure that you get in, because Focus Your Audio is also on the bill. They're going to be opening up the night. That's going to be great. Cannot wait for this night and hang with both of the bands. You heard a new song for So So Romeo called Stormproof. They just had their big single release party at the Wise Hall in East Vancouver. I think it was late last month. Same night, actually, that we had our show with Brass Camel and Bad Mini, which was, of course, a great night on our end, which you'll be hearing that show audio very soon. We'll get it up on our socials, hopefully sooner than later. We're working on dialing up that music right now as I speak with the Blue Light Sessions. But yeah, So So Romeo were excellent from what I heard at the Wise Hall in East Vancouver. They were a lot of fun when they played with Chase the Bear for a podcast show for the Blue Light Sessions as well. Speaking of live music, indeed, you can find a list of shows that are happening locally with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. It's not just our shows, right? Like indie shows in general. If you should know about it, I'll be posting it and I'll keep you in the loop. Like we plugged and played So So Romeo a few times leading up to their show. Now, this is the same night as our show, right? Competing shows, yet we're promoting that show. Why? Because it's not about that. It's about supporting Vancouver's indie scene, right? If you're playing one or you're going to one, let me know about it. I'll get up at toddhancock.ca. Okay, so let's get to this week's lifestyle guest. Our final guest of this episode is hypnotherapist and Reiki master teacher Magda Baptista, powered as always by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. And yes, they ship anywhere in Canada. Anywhere in Canada. You can get all kinds of edibles as well, and peyote and vapes and oils and bath bombs and hash and lollipops and shatter. And man, that website is amazing, simply amazing. At registry, though, the first time going to that website, sacredmeds.com, at registry, mention you heard about them through this podcast. That will instantly open up and upgrade the site to things that aren't normally there for the regular people. All right. So Reiki is a Japanese healing technique, touch to promote relaxation, to reduce stress, and enhance your overall well-being holistically.
Various scientific people will proclaim that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And Reiki is an energy healing. So it's different from hypnotherapy. And yet they work well together, because you spoke about hypnotherapy and now you're talking about Reiki. So I just want to make sure that we understand that there's two different modalities or two different healing techniques and tools, yet they work well together. So Reiki is life force energy. And with Reiki, we're able to realign the chakras. So the chakras, there are 7 chakras with which we work with in Reiki. So there's more than 7 chakras in our field. So chakras are energy fields that when they are blocked, we start seeing these roadblocks, as I was talking before, on our path. So as we clear them, as we align them, we're able to manifest faster. We're able to feel more balanced in life. So that's the Reiki part. The hypnotherapy is really the subconscious programming that we have that we can change in order to also start manifesting what we want in our life in a more positive way or in a more aligned way.
Magda's Instagram account, her bio says, I support you to double your energy, focus, and confidence. Book your free call. You'll love Magda's energy on social media. Just super positive, like a really good starting point, right? Encouraging, she's friendly, and super easy and outgoing in conversation as well. It's like she says to me at the start of the conversation, hey, do you want me to go to my car? Because she was in a mall and just wondering if it was too loud. So from a mall bench, I think we talked for close to 25 minutes or something like that, but all sorts of stuff too, right? Her career and how she's adapting to technology and how that's going. She talked about high school and her ambitions and how close she came to hitting those marks. She talked about her love of teaching little kids and the importance, and I think we've said this many times on this podcast. I would venture to guess damn near triple figures. Magda talks about the importance of setting goals for yourself.
Definitely. So when I wake up and I am sticking to my routine, I love to set goals every day. So for my day, I have 3 things I must accomplish. And then I have those extra things that I can accomplish either today, tomorrow, or throughout the week. And then I love to reflect on it at night. So I have a tool that I use. I don't know if you know Brendan Bouchard. He's a high performance coach, and I love to use his planner. So every day there's a set of questions that I fill out. How am I going to be mindful today? And what are the 3 goals that I must achieve for today, or 3 tasks that I must achieve? And then there's a weekly analysis that you go through. To be totally honest, this is what I love to do. Do I do it every single day? Not always. Sometimes I skip. Like on weekends, I like to just go with the flow and be adventurous. But I like to set them on a regular basis.
Honestly, if you don't have a goal, make one. And it could be whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I'm going to cook 3 nights this week. I'm going to read 1 book a month, or I'm going to win the Canuck 50-50, or whatever it is. Goals help keep you focused, and that's always a good thing. So Magda talked about helping out on some Tony Robbins events, and how incredible would that be to pick that man's brain for a couple hours? Hey, like, could you imagine? Tony, I don't know what I'm doing. Fix me. Magda talked about seeing Britney Spears in concert, self-esteem, her love of the piano, and Rufus Del Sol. We talked about negativity and naysayers, and whether she feels pressure to be a good role model on social media, as if that matters. Do not comply with anything we say on social media. It's all written and created by Monkey AI.
No, I love it. I love it. I love being the role model because I feel like I'm able to lead through my actions. And the more I lead through my actions, the more I better my life. So it's not a pressure, it's more a lifestyle. It's what I choose to be. And this is why I was talking about authenticity before. When you're authentic, you no longer feel that pressure to pretend to be someone that you're not. I was recently at a Tony Robbins event. As a crew member, I was helping out and cheering people on. And people would come to me and they're like, how do you have all that energy all day long? We're exhausted. I'm like, because it's my lifestyle. I don't pretend to be this happy, joyful, energetic person. I am a physical educator. I believe in moving your body for health purposes. And so I adopt that lifestyle. If anybody travels with me and they ask me if I want to take a cab, I always say, can we walk there?
Totally right.
And I'll walk there. And they're like, no, it's too far. I'm like, how far is it? Or how close is it? I don't want to waste my time in a cab. I want to see everything. So I'll walk and see. And at the same time, I get my steps in. So it's a lifestyle. It's the way you choose to see things.
Entertainment guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Visit sacredmeds.com.
I'm alive. I can feel the blood running through my veins tonight. I'm inspired by the sights and sounds that illuminate my life. One day at a time, till I clear my mind. One day at a time, and you'll find tomorrow's waiting, and no more mountains to climb. I can feel the blood running through my veins tonight. I'm inspired, I'm electrified. You know it feels it's right for me, and I can't see it. One day at a time, until I clear my mind. One day at a time, and you'll find tomorrow's waiting. One day. I can see the light shining through my soul tonight.
You really get the feeling that those guys are going to absolutely bring it at the end of the month. They're called Freeborn Soul. The song is One Day at a Time. Gearing up for a big night with us. You can see them at our next live show. So it's the Blue Light Sessions with Sleep Circle, the band you heard earlier in the cast, and that band, Freeborn Soul, playing together. And if the singer of that band is ringing a bell going like, why do I know that guy? Like, why do I know that voice? It's because you do. Remember the band Aviator Shades? They had the singer of Spendo, present day, drumming in that band. Good friend of the cast, Spencer Tomlinson. Well, Aviator Shades' singer is Dave Gorman. He's now fronting Freeborn Soul. Stoked for this night, stoked for the show and the hang, really. Love both bands and the music as well, but probably it's mainly them. They're just solid guys, great songs, good dudes, right? And if you've been out and about in Vancouver's rock scene over the last decade plus, you've seen those boys out supporting other local bands and playing and, just being part of the scene. So getting in the bit of the hang as well is equally, in my opinion, is equally as important as seeing the show itself. So Friday, February 23rd, Sleep Circle, Freeborn Soul, and hope to see you there. It's 20 bones, again, through eventbrite.ca, eventbrite.ca. Search Toddcast Podcast. You can't miss all of our shows. In fact, we have a lot of things going on right now. We have Greg Drummond, we played earlier on, and Focus Your Audio. They're coming up. So is a night with Kat Madden and Summer's brother. We're working on a rescheduled date for the Harpoonist show that we had this close. Actually, I think that was supposed to be a week from now, but something came up with one of the players who happens to be Big Sugar's Gordy Johnson. Gordy couldn't make the date. He was on the island the night before. So, of course, it doesn't really make much sense to make the trip on the ferry to Vancouver, do the show, rent a hotel for the night, hop on the ferry again the next day to do a show again on the island. So anyway, so we're this close. We're working on to a new date for that show, but we'll get it sorted and together at some point, I would imagine, this year. Sean from Harpoonist is keen on doing something, and as am I. And I've interviewed Gordy Johnson over the years, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times. Not sure that he knows who I am. Not that that matters, I guess, but I would like to think that that sort of show is right up his alley. He's probably looking forward to doing something unique as well. I'm really looking forward to next week. I love building these types of podcasts. You'll hear from 12 guests as they share their near-death stories. Now, he's not a guest next week, so let's hear Theory of a Dead Man's bassist, Dean Back's story.
Yeah. So my last job before the band was Canadian Springs Water. And we did a summer retreat where we went whitewater rafting up near Cache Creek, I think it was. And me and Stacy went up. And our raft capsized and I got pulled out under into the whitewater. And I mean, I don't know how long I was really down there. It was probably
sure feels like a long time though, right?
Yeah, it was probably, 20, 30 seconds, but it felt like 2 minutes. And I was getting tossed underneath the water. I finally popped back up and didn't know where Stacy was. So my first thought is, where is Stacy?
Yeah.
And yeah, we got yanked to the shore and shaking after that one. And had to crack a couple of beers just to to calm down a little bit after that.
Chill those nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the closest to death that I've been.
That's a question I've asked every single one of my guests, and most people, like 95%, have a story, man. Like most people have had a brush with death.
Yeah. I think water would be a terrible way to go.
Oh, that and fire.
Yeah.
Next week, you'll hear from 12 guests and their near-death story. And believe me, ask your circle. Most everybody will have something to share. Of course, a big thanks to this week's guests as well. Tesla lead guitarist Frank Hannon, our sports loudmouth Mr. Tequila, and hypnotherapist, Reiki master teacher Magda Baptista. Appreciate you all taking some time to jump a Zoom and share your story. In Tequila's case, the rant, always a pleasure. My brother from another mother. Tesla's been a constant in my life since the 80s. So what a trip to finally talk to you, Frank. And many thanks to Shauna at O'Donnell Media Group for hooking everything up. We've been working with Shauna since we launched. Have known her actually since my Seafox days, back when I was doing band management. Speaking of Theory of a Dead Man, Dave Brenner, their guitarist, and I used to have a company called He Shoots, He Scores Entertainment. Jonathan Simpkin was our lawyer. Those were fun days, man, and like repping some rad bands as well. Like Shauna knew us from Southern Death Threat. We had The Turn, we had the British Columbians and Black Betty, Grass City, Murray Atkinson, Stars of Boulevard. Of course, like these are all like pre-kids days, right? Back when I actually had time. The precious spare time. So thank you, Shauna. Appreciate everything you've done for us for the last 10 years. The bands that you represent are a big part of what we're all about. So big love. And Magda, a pleasure. Thank you for your time. Always great to see your positivity over on Instagram. Absolutely love it. And thank you for being there as well. Thank you for your time this week as I slip a bow on this one, episode 323. We'll spank her in the ass and call her done. And once again, my name is Todd Hancock. Do me a favor, let your friends know about us. If you're down, even invite them to like us on Facebook. It's super easy. Go to the podcast page, hit the invite button, say all friends, done. Simple, right? And you wouldn't believe how much that helps. And we see it, of course, daily on all social media, like the retweeting and reposting, and more comments lately than ever before, way more engagement, which is super cool. We are part of the Realm.fm network, global distribution based in New York City, baby. And why not subscribe wherever you listen or watch the most? iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Megaphone, all the interviews, the live shows that we do, they're up at the YouTube channel of Fill Your Boots. Everything online is at Toddcast Podcast. Branding 101. Massive thanks to all of our sponsors. They are the reason that we are able to continue what we do week in and week out, interview people, create podcasts, and do the live shows. It's the sponsors. And a big thanks to Citywide Mortgage Services for re-signing and renewing for all of 2024. It's massive for us. So click those links through the website, toddhancock.ca. You can find them at the sponsors sections. Get your business in front of our podcast, the website, social media for as little as $10 a day. Think of us as another cup of coffee. All right, a couple cups, but be nice and grab your coworkers a cup from time to time. So toddhancock.ca, if this sounds like something that your business or a buddy's business might be into, and as always, which has happened over the years, help us find a sponsor, get a commission. I'm just going to let that sink in for a sec. All right. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Do you love Disney?
Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefer TV is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefer TV podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Follow Nefer TV, that's Nefer TV, wherever you get your podcasts.